our research is focused on looking at complex environments and how they influence traits and kind of the trade-off and the balance that animals strike given that complexity. Biologists typically look at the way the environment influences traits by picking one environmental variable. For example, temperature, very important across all animals and organisms generally. We can expect global climate change to not only affect the mean temperature, so we see increasing temperatures globally over a 100-year span. But we're also expected to see larger climatic events, things like droughts. These droughts, for example, will reduce the availability of plants, and that will trickle down into other food sources available to animals at higher trophic levels, meaning that not only will these animals be warmer, they'll also have less food available to them during these climatic events. So our lab is really interested in looking at the effects of not only increasing temperature, but also reduced food availability, how these two things interact and affect animals. Juvenile corn snakes are quite ideal actually for this particular question. They're growing very quickly, like all animals during their juvenile stage, so we can measure something like growth in a fairly short amount of time. Over the course of 8 weeks, we can see very real growth changes due to food availability and temperature. They also eat discrete meals, so they'll eat a single mouse or prey item, and we can determine how many calories they're consuming very easily because of this. So we can very easily manipulate food availability. Temperature is important to the biology of ectothermic animals like snakes, and so by shifting temperatures within the ecologically relevant range that reflects predicted climate change shifts, we can look at the effects of temperature on the biology of an animal like a corn snake. So the work is still ongoing and the data is still coming in and being analyzed, but we're already seeing some very strong independent effects of temperature and food availability. One of the neat interactions that we're seeing already is in the animal personality, that open field arena, where individuals that have experienced a high quality environment, that is, it's been nice and cool and they've had lots of food, those individuals are very bold. And at the other end of the spectrum, the ones that have had a poor quality environment, that are warm without very much food, those individuals are also very bold. The ones in between are not as bold. The world is complex, and in this complex world, animals have to balance a number of important traits. Traits such as behavioral decisions, the way they use energy, and how they're going to grow. Animals' environments are changing at a rapid rate, and we're really to blame. If we look at fossil fuel combustion and anthropogenic climate change, habitat destruction due to urbanization or changes in forestry practices, the way that our agricultural runoff ends up in streams and changes the chemistry and the nutrients available to animals in those environments, they're all from us, right? And these stressors are actually very complex, where we have multiple factors really influencing an animal's environment. We like to think of corn snakes as a stand-in for any animal that's facing a complex stressor or a complex environment that's shifting. How do they deal with that?